Boating 52, how are you folks? I am at Harrison's Motorcycle Service in Brighton, Michigan. That is my 2000 Road King Classic named Duke. He has been here for 3 or 4 days getting some work done. And you know what? I think there's 3 or 4 different type of people that work on the motorcycle. Obviously, I'm here. So, as you can tell, I just left my local motorcycle mechanic, a place that I truly trust, especially when I need some work done that I can't do myself. And let me tell you why I actually took it over there instead of doing the work in the garage. Because I think there are different type of people that have mechanical skills or are mechanically inclined or has that experience on motorcycles that either work on them, don't work on them, or somewhere in between, which is me. So let me tell you my thoughts on that. First of all, I think there is somebody out there that is, let's start with number one. They can work on a bike. They have worked on bikes maybe since they were a kid. Maybe they've been professionally trained. But if they have a motor problem, they need to take that bike in a million different pieces, major engine work. They can do it. As a matter of fact, I know they take pride in being able to do that because I watch a lot of channels that do that. To, one, learn. But two, I just find it fascinating and just interesting in watching people on the skills they have when it comes to motorcycles. Whether it's, fixing a major problem, whether it's a build series or a build, something I just don't have the skills to do. I love watching those channels. And maybe it's because I'm a little jealous because I think those people are extremely talented. And I really wish that I had that talent for sure. And yeah, maybe I could get it, but I think you also have to realize when you're over your head. And I just wonder how many people, good question I should ask. Should have asked him when I was there. How many people work on their bike and do something, and then at the end of the day, they either screw it up or can't complete it, and they got to have somebody else do it? I just wonder how many people that is. It's funny, I see sometimes guys working on their bikes, and I look at them. Holy crap, where'd all these people come from? And I'm just like, man, I look at their bike all apart, and I'm like, if that was me, I'd be having heart palpitations because I know I wouldn't be able to get that back together. So I think there are those people that are just amazing with motorcycles. And if you're one of those folks, if you don't mind, leave a comment and let me know how you got that way. Did you grow up working on motorcycles? Just happened to be a mechanic as you were younger, or you grew into it or trained? I'd really like to know that. So then I think there's number two. There are those people that can do most of the work on their motorcycle, right? Obviously, maintenance, and we'll talk about that, but they can really do additional work. So let's talk about what additional work is. To me, and this probably will be as clear as mud, I'm thinking. But when I look at changing out bars, as an example, I have been thinking, and I know some of you that watch my channel are going, dude, you got the same bars on, what are you doing? I have been thinking about changing out the bars on this bike to some 14-inch apes. And I'll talk about that here in a minute. But as I go through what really needs to be done to do the apes, right, it's really time consuming. And I know a lot of people say it's really not that hard and you can kind of follow along. Hell, you can watch a YouTube video and figure it out, right? But it is at that point when I do something like that, especially on an older bike like this, and I understand there's a little more work on it to do, that I would want to take it to somebody to do, or have a buddy help me that knows what he's doing. One of those two, right? So that's kind of in that area between, hey, I can take the bike and put it in 5 million different pieces and put it back together in my sleep, to, yeah, I can do some major stuff, right? I can't do everything. One, I may not have the equipment to do it, or the garage to do it, or whatever it is, but there's that second person that's almost there, but yet not just to that rebuild stage. And that just may be also time. Time and obviously, when we'll talk about this a little bit, dollars, right? Because, hey, it's not cheap to take your motorcycle over, right? Then there's those people that are like me, right? I can do the maintenance on the bike, change the fluids. I can put slip-ons on, could put exhaust on. I can do those basic plus stuff. Really basic stuff. That's really just basic. Let's call it what it is, Bodine. Let's call it what it is. I can just really do the basic stuff, right? And the maintenance and all that. And to me, that's good enough. It fits my skills. It saves me some money because, man, I'll tell you what. If this is your first time to the channel, this is a 2000 Road King Classic. I also have a 2018 Ultra Limited. Well, to get even a 5,000 or a 10,000 done on that bike, it's like $400 or $500 from the dealership, which is ridiculous. What do you spend in parts? $100, $125, right? It's a no-brainer, right? So I think I fall into that third phase, which is, yeah, I can do some stuff. I can maintain the bike. I can make some alterations to it. I can make some repairs to it. But if it gets too difficult or something that I really feel is out of my wheelhouse, I will take it over, actually, to Harrison's, no doubt. Now, I will tell you, and everybody will say this, get a service manual. And there is a place, if you're looking for one, leave a note in the comments. There is a site that I'll have to look up where you can go get service manuals for basically free on your bike. At least I know they're for Harleys. I don't know if they're for other bikes. I just printed that off and put it in my garage, and if I try to do anything I need to, I look through that first and go, okay, can I do this or can I not do this, right? So I think that's where I fit into. And then there's that person that buys a motorcycle and has basically no experience working on bikes. The thought of working on a $20,000, $30,000, or $40,000 bike, even to change the oil, freaks them out that they're going to do something wrong, right? And, I think there's a lot of people that'll go, look, if you're going to buy a bike, you got to know or should learn how to work on it. Yeah, maybe, right? I'm of that philosophy, too. But some people just may not have those skills. Some people may not have that time. Some people may not want to take that risk. And some people may be wealthy enough that, they don't care saving $300 or $400 every 5,000 miles, right? Get that. No judging people. Everybody's in a different place. I never know what place people are in, right? So I think those are the 4 categories on where people are normally at when it comes to working on your motorcycle. So I would be interested on where you are at, number 1. Which one of those 4 are you? And number 2, did you ever get something apart and you're like, crap, I can't get this back together by myself? I'd love to hear that story. So if you are wondering, after I said all this, why I have it over at the shop, is that I bought Duke, as many of you know, about 9 months ago, used, and didn't ride it a ton last year, obviously, with all the stuff going on and riding my other bike, but I just love this motorcycle. It's going to stay in my garage forever. Just no doubt about it, right? And those of you that follow me on Instagram, at Bodine52, no, I put up a picture that said, where's Duke? And a lot of people have been asking me, going, dude, did you trade it in? Did you sell it? Is it get repaired? Did you wreck it? I mean, a whole bunch of conversations. So the answer is no, I had it in the shop. And what I really had done was, when I bought the bike originally, I rode it. It was in the winter months. So I did ride it around the block, trailered it back. Then I have rode it, obviously made sure that it was roadworthy. And actually put had new tires put on this. By the way, I know there's going to be a couple Road King folks on here. They're going to go, dude, did you check the cam tensioners? Yeah, I checked the cam tensioners, and they're good. So that is good news. But it has 24,000 miles on it. I've put a couple thousand miles on it. I'm the third owner. And I simply did not know what had been done on the bike. I wanted to make sure that, one, all the fluids in that got changed, which, again, is no easy. That's a number 2 or number 3, right? Easy to do. But I really wanted everything else checked, because this is a 2000. And there's a laundry list of stuff he went through. And it's not just the normal big Harley checklist. Fork oil was part of it. There's a whole lot of stuff. And I'll leave that in the description just so you can say, hey, dude, what did you really get done? And maybe you could have done it yourself, right? On this one, it's a used bike. It's 24,000 miles. Yeah, it's a round town bike, but I just wanted to make sure that it was really, really sound. And I can tell you, just on riding it, since I picked it up, I can tell a difference in it already. So really glad I did that. Have less money in my pocket, that is for sure, but glad I did nonetheless. So that is it for me, folks. I definitely appreciate you checking in. Let me know. And would you take a used bike over to a mechanic and make sure it's gone through thoroughly, either maybe before you bought it or after you bought it, and tell me your story if you don't mind. I do appreciate you checking in the channel, folks. And by the way, I do have a new Bodine 52 logo. It's right here. And also a lot of folks have talked to me about maybe selling some merchandise, and I actually opened up a store, and I'll leave that link. So if you want to check that out, feel free to. But thanks again for checking in. Be safe on and off the motorcycle, and check on a friend. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.